Oh, that is loud. Hi, this is Mia. Let me turn it down. This is, oh, I shouldn't look in the corner as it looks funny, huh? This is, Friday, the 27th, already, the 27th, and I'm getting ready to work outside the house. Do I want to work outside the house? No. What's my problem? I didn't freaking do my work. I didn't freaking get a printer. I don't have a computer that works, and I am completely unmotivated and lazy. And I haven't had a steady source of business, clients, or anyone calling me. So I have about an hour right now to do as much work while I'm inside the house by myself. I had a stomach ache this morning. It's from brushing my teeth. I'm just trying to eat something. What is all that noise? There was so much crunching. I was like, didn't hear whatever it was coming. I wore these pajamas I got from the food pantry. Where did I put them? I didn't put them up yet. They smell like someone else's body, obviously. Someone else's pajamas they slept in. Oh my god. I washed them. We weren't able to go into the food pantry. Oh shoot, today was the last day. Or the food, what do you call it? The expired bread place. To my friend, I went closer than 60. Oh, I should have dipped this in honey. Closer than 6 foot. I thought I saw the bread. I thought I smelled the bread. There's bread over there. That sugar I picked up. I don't know where it was, but there was ants over here. We don't have a kitchen, so everything is just haphazard. I'm trying to organize with these crates I showed you guys the other day. I'm also trying to organize the videos. I have a lot of disorganization, and yesterday I straightened up that table when I knew I had a telephone interview. I forgot to take this off the wall, so when I was like calling again, I was like removing that, and I was like, oh my god, that was embarrassing. God, so embarrassing. Because it looked like I was doing something devious. I was like, I don't need a hanger right behind my head. So that looked good for like an hour, and now it's all messy. It's not that messy, actually. I put a bunch of stuff away, threw out some stuff. I missed my raw food from Annapolis and Maryland, DC, and Portland, Tacoma, Bend. I miss it. And eating this kind of stuff, I just opened it's almost gone. There's only 3 ounces, or is that 0.3 ounces? 3 ounces in there. I got one of those and a plain one. I think I ordered another one because I knew better. So I don't need to go to the store really right now. I could probably not go to the store for technically when this next order comes, I could probably go a month. That's not that long. I could probably go a month without getting food. And every time I get super drained of energy and all this stuff, it's like a month. Worth of food might be in the house or in the apartment. But it would consist of a handful of crack your own nuts. Usually at least a jar of honey. From old vegetables that are in the fridge that I didn't want to touch, that I got free somewhere. Some condiments, like I would run out of olive oil. So when I have my regular food, I have enough energy to get up and brush my teeth and make lemonade and mix together my nuts and olive oil. When I go below that amount of food and I'm running out of everything, or stuff is just like causing me an allergic reaction, which I think is my face is breaking out. I have all these almonds from Target. It's mixed with, the package says wheat, dairy, eggs. I can't deal with that. But I'm a beggar right now, not a chooser. I did get some sunflower seeds, but I don't know. I had cut out almonds for a while anyway, just because of the high calorie content. I don't think I had any food stashed. I think I ate the the dehydrated or dried mango slices. I bought some more. I'm pointing at it right now. I got a little bag. I haven't tried the freeze dried mangoes. That sounds weird. So I did think that I ran out of olive oil, but I had put it in my Vitacost boxes. So you see the video, you can hear that the boxes are broke down, some of them, because we're supposed to be selling stuff that's breakable. So I was trying to save as much cardboard, but it's not like I even have a closet or anything to put this stuff in. So it's just getting overwhelming. I have found the glass bottle of olive oil is next to the bed, which I had to be careful because it is glass, it's large, and there's a chair there that keeps getting moved. We already had something fragile break the other day. You walk around at night in the dark and clumsy when you're half asleep. I think that's my boyfriend. I'm gonna get off video and just upload. I found two packages of. Usually they went so fast, and there's no way that it could be him because they're not. Let's see. He saw my videos yesterday. I was trying to sort through them because it's like, this is his computer. So this is my problem. I'm unmotivated. I'm lazy. I'm having a panic attack because I'm not getting anything done because I'm watching YouTube videos on prepping and not to leave your house and to order everything. And I'm eating, of course, it's like I get a stomachache from brushing my freaking teeth because of toothpaste. I don't swallow toothpaste, okay, but that little bit that drips down my throat has been causing me. It's like a highway right out there through the trees. I see the cars moving in. I'm like, look, cars, look. I have a bunch of empty jars of cashew butter. I should probably throw them out. I keep thinking, oh, I'm going to just scrape and then I have a whole serving, but it gets to the point where you try to scrape it. It's been sitting there, who knows how long. It's been sitting there for like 4 months. And you wash it, sometimes you soak it, and it gets moldy. You're like, think that I'm going to reuse the jar so that I can preserve food, keep it away from pests, and keep it fresh. Put the nuts in there, organize a little bit, but it's getting to the point I just need to put them in a paper bag and take them straight to the recycling bin. I mean, I probably should rinse it out. I'm trying to think if I had. So I found 2 bottles of plastic olive oil. I think it looks like it's less than 13 ounces. Maybe 9.5. I'd probably go through that in a week. No problem. Unless I ran out of nuts or my noodles, which I'm almost out of noodles, and I have to remember not to stretch it out too much because that's when stuff gets shoved in the back of the fridge. And then these noodles get dehydrated and they shrink down into like from a little noodle that looks like a spaghetti to just like a hair follicle. It like shrinks down, and I'm not really into doing that crispy. I mean, it might be good, but I'm kind of think that stuff goes through the freezer. It gets close to freezer frozen, or what happens is all the water comes out and it turns more brown and it turns weird. Like, I don't know, it just weirds me out because I'm like, it's been in there long enough to either have evaporated because I didn't tie it or put it in a bag, and then I'm all afraid of the odors in the fridge, which I do have baking soda. I do need to put that into the fridge so that I can start using ice again. I do need to water my plant. Seems like it's dried out plenty. I do have water. You see me drinking water. I do try to refill these bottles because I don't have a regular water bottle. I almost bought a teacup thing. I have no idea why I didn't buy it. Probably because it was over $10. I really don't know what. I had it in my cart for Mountain Rose Herbs. I usually don't have the windows open, so the cars are really loud. This woke me up in December in the morning. It woke me up a lot. When I got here in October, it was because I went back and forth. It was it's hot. The air conditioner is still up here. I don't like air conditioners. Like, sometimes I'm like, okay, never mind. I do like it. I feel like the window, the screen was in this window, and then I don't know why it fell out. or it came undone or something, and then he took it out, and this is above the garage. How are we supposed to put the screen back in? And in fact, I made a paper screen over there. I didn't make it. You see me with this stuff. You see me with this stuff that my glass containers were wrapped up in. I'm using that as a freaking screen. I'm like, we haven't gotten to recycling. I'm trying. That stuff is sharp, by the way. I never put that in a guinea pig cage. Try to go to the recycling place. It looks overcrowded. That's where people put their food products. What's the word I'm thinking of? What did we buy? Oh, this is a health item. Food products. What am I thinking? No, not food, but the water bottles. It's like no one's gonna like bleach the water bottles and put them in there. So it's like everybody's plastic bottles. Plastic's supposed to hold the virus for 3 days. Cardboard 24 hours. So I mean, we're not gonna be touching other people's bottles, but I already thought this before this virus. Everyone has been sick, coughing, being in daycare. Teachers wouldn't wash kids' hands. I'd wash a kid's hands. They'd yell at me. They're little babies. I would wash babies' hands. Now, infants. It sounds bad. Oh, that's so good because I'm so hungry. What I would do was wash their hands with a white. I don't. People are like, don't change their diaper so often. Like, I have kids. I don't need my kid in the same diaper for 6 hours till that gel comes out, and then I spend all this time trying to clean the gel out of their chubby thighs. You know, I'm like, you don't like. We were dirt poor, and we used cloth diapers. Every time my kid peed, I changed her diaper. She half peed, I changed her diaper. Because if it's gonna go 2, you're gonna go through cloth diapers. I didn't have outside linings, so it's gonna go through whatever clothes she has on, whatever pad I had her laying on. It's gonna go through your sheets and your bedding, mattress, you know. Oh no, I let in a freaking wasp. Dang it. God, if I get stung to death. Oh my god. I let in a freaking... So much for trying to enjoy my freaking... Go on. Go on. So much for trying to enjoy the window being open. He's like right on the windowsill. Can you see what I'm doing? Oh my god, there is a wasp right here. He is on the windowsill. And he is not going anywhere. Oh my god. Let's put this down for a second. This sucks. Anyways, I washed the kids' hands with a wipe. And I wanted them to be in the habit of wet hands. Because it's weird. Where baby starts off wet and they cry when they come out into the dry. And then we put them in baths and diaper. It's like wet, dry, wet, dry. Like now it's not all wet and all dry. It's like partial. I don't know what to do. Should I shut the window? I can't even... See, I didn't... I was just trying to air this stupid place out. I don't know if it's gone out. I shut the blind the other way. I don't know if it... It could be like on my hand for all I freaking know right now. Oh my god. This is stupid, guys. That made it super dark. I have to put my hand here. I don't know if the wasp is here because I have no... Let's just shut the freaking window. Who cares? So lame. There's one thing, the modern life Is it in here? I thought I heard something. Is to have screens. And a ladder to freaking... I thought I heard it. A ladder to freaking... put them back on or something. I mean, I don't know. I haven't owned a house since West Virginia, and we had all kinds of wildlife in the house. But, I mean, been there, done that, you know. I'm over it. I'm over it now. Live in harmony. They already took up my yard. I don't need to be in my house. Trying to think of the name of this book. Paul Newman has that book that has the picture like the farmer, or they have the farmer and the pitchfork and the wife. And I was homeless and I asked for gifts. I didn't ask for gifts, but our case managers asked for gifts, donations, and people would ask what you want. So you filled out a form. I was like, I didn't have like soaps and shampoos, and I didn't have any dish rags. I didn't have any washcloths or hot pads. Like I had one towel with a honey bear, or I think it was a bear with a honey or beehive, or just a beehive. I got that towel because someone left it in an apartment, so I had one. I had that towel for everything, basically. And the soaps we used, someone would drop off shampoos and soaps from hotels and fill up a bucket, and we'd select when the office was open. And that was not for 6 months, or 6 to 8 months later I had gotten little shampoos, and it was interesting. But I asked for natural things and healthy things, and they got me the Paul Newman book, and it talks a lot about different things you could do natural, and one of them was to, if the bee gets in the house, instead of swatting it or spraying it, you make it completely dark, and then you open up the window or door, and hopefully it finds its way to the light. Like, want it into the light. Sometimes it's too windy outside or chilly. They won't. The animal, I mean, like flies or stuff. I try to get them out. There's so many cars. I'm just distracted. So one day, my daughter had been using a. I'm taking my hair out of braids. She had been using a mosquito net. I think, did I buy it for her? She bought it for herself. A fashionable mosquito net. And I don't think it had anything. Did hers have glow in the dark? It might have had a couple glow in the dark stars and moon. And she didn't use an anchor screw thing on the ceiling. So she just kept taking a hook, and I believe it also had the wooden ring that goes around. I'm not sure if it did or not, but that would make it heavy. And I was always scared that she would get tangled up at night in this mosquito net, and I was like really concerned that either A, she'd get tangled up just normal, or B, it'd fall down and she'd get tangled up. Because I like to sleep with blankets on my head. There is a bug on the ceiling I have to get now. Is that a bug? I'm gonna have to get this bug now. It's bothering me. Take my hair out halfway. So my daughter took it down, and I ended up I feel stupid. I feel like I'm a lazy cat right now. Just like sitting here, like all I did was drink some water, eat a snack, and like swat at bugs. It's like I'm in out for hours. I did do 30 minutes of my thing. Anyway, she took the mosquito net down, and she had, I don't know if I put it in my room or somehow it ended up downstairs in the file cabinet or whatever, you know. It didn't get thrown away, that's the point here. And I gotta make sure that ants don't get my honey too. Speaking of, like, putting it over here doesn't seem like it's gonna make much difference, but I know they're over there. We have other honey here that needs to be taken care of, so there's a mess. I'm gonna get a piece of, I don't want to use my toilet paper. I'm like, I'm gonna get something to swap this. And so my daughter had, my daughter was gone. I don't know where the paper towels, that's what I'm looking for. My daughter was gone, and Oh my gosh, are you serious that I cannot find my paper towels? Just stress eat. Oh, here's some paper. I might use the cover of this toilet paper, looks pretty soft. I might have to pull the cover of this individual paper towel out, or toilet paper. The cotton this does not seem that scratchy. Sounds better than Sears catalog. Those Sears catalog people must have used must have been like non-shiny. I couldn't imagine the Sears catalogs that are shiny, glossy, thick. That I'm just like, ouch. Like, anyways, me and my son were home, and we got into the house, and we were in the kitchen. It was in the kitchen window. I did this before, what I just told you about the turning the lights off. So working at that same daycare center we had where we were in the baby room, a wasp got in, or a bee, or a yellow jacket, and we were pretty scared. We weren't scared, but there's children. It's not just us. It's not just our kids. Oh my god, this is stupid. Oh my gosh. It looks like one of those versions of a carpet bug. So, stuff like this will breed and destroy your life. Like this virus. It may not kill you though, so it's one thing. But you might go permanently insane, so. Anyways, the daycare center, the kids played, we propped the door, we shut the lights off, shut the blinds, and it eventually went out, and we had a back door, luckily, into that facility. Luckily, no other ones came in. Back to me and my son in the kitchen. This happened about 2 years ago, maybe 3. So I had the window here for the kitchen. The wasp, or the hornet, or whatever it was. I don't know what my other one of these went. Was in there. I was like, come help me. I was like, let me turn the lights out. Let me shut the blinds. The thing wouldn't go out the door. So there's a sink with the window and the kitchen, the back door. So I was like, okay, I'm really scared. I need to take the screen off and open up the window some more, or shut the window, or get it on the other side of the window. Take the screen off. So I think I was screaming and I was acting crazy, and I was like telling my son, come on, get over here, grab the mosquito net. We're both wrapped up in a mosquito net that's like made for a twin bed, and I was like, oh my god, it's gonna sting me. So I lift up the edges. I don't know if I was able, these were semi-new screens, so they were kind of tight, and they weren't like the old ones where they easily like up and out. They were like you had to yank on it with the little plastic, and you felt like the plastic was just gonna break. So I think we opened it, and then we ended up outside, and it still wouldn't come out, and I was trying to lure it out by making it, what did I use? Somehow I made it, so now we're outside with this mosquito net. The screen is off, or at least open. I might have took it all the way off. And the window is open regular. So the window was open like this. I must have shut the window when it got onto the other side or something. Or it wouldn't get on the other side. Whatever it was, I tried to put up something to block, like a paper bag, to block the light here so that he only could come out where there was an opening and not go back into the house, start buzzing around, or stay in the window and dry up, or whatever they do. You know what ended up happening? I just remember this. I got this ridiculous, I don't know if it was a flower, a dandelion. Didn't I try water too? Why do I feel like I got something wet? Or did I just get something orange? I think that what I was trying to do was mimic a flower. And I don't know about the water part. This must have been at least 3 years ago. Oh my gosh. Whatever I did at the end, it worked. And I feel like I don't think it was. It must not have been a wasp. It must have been just like a hornet or a yellow jacket. I think it was a yellow jacket. So I don't want to be stung by anything, let alone something that's gonna be like beep 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 beep. Beep. So I get creative. I live with my. When I stayed with my dad, it would be like raids. I'm like, I am not going to be in this room anymore. Like, this is not the part of the vacation. Like not for bees, for like an ant or a little spider. And like, why don't you just like take a newspaper and swat? Like, that's what we did when I was a kid in the house. Flies would get in the house and they would just get newspaper and swat it. I don't even know why we didn't have a fly swatter. We must have. The color red is popping into my mind. I wonder if we had a red fly swatter. I remember trying to do that newspaper thing. That newspaper thing was stupid. Because they could feel that. I mean, I'm not against that. They could feel that wind coming right before it, and they sense it, and they fly away. When I was a kid, this lady named Mandy, this girl named Mandy used to catch flies in the classroom. Remember classrooms at schools, they didn't have any screens, so you had all kinds of flies and stuff, and bees. Like, I remember being in medical school, and there was, like, bees flying around, and hornets, or wasps, and, like, nobody noticed. Then they'd put the stupid air conditioner on, like, and then they'd shut the blinds because the sun's shining in someone's eye. Like, this is in medical school, like, naturopathic school. I'm like, dude, we need warmth. We don't need to be freezing cold with a fan blowing on us with the sun blocked when we have no vitamin D. Like, I don't even care if the windows are blocking it. That's like a high depression and suicide area because we didn't have enough sunlight. So when the sun comes, because I figured when I was in a classroom, the sun comes here, and you're sitting here, and it's in your eye for like 3 minutes, seriously, because it moves. And eventually, because it's a window in a building, it goes up, from up high noon, and then back down. And it's like not in that classroom directly for more than like 30 minutes. Like, as it like goes up and out. I just, like, people don't think, like, yeah, it's irritating. And like, for me, it's just like, I'm going to put my pencil down if I can't see and just look at the teacher, like, put my hand on my eye. But I always welcome that, especially after cold. I get cold chilled easily. So, I remember that bees would come in. Also had big open windows with no screens. And not like, it's scary with windows that go to the floor like this, that open on the floor too, and open all the way. It's scary to think you're to fall out without a screen, but the screen's not going to help you. And we had an apartment, a kid did fall out the screen at one of my housing programs, and they put in these thick metal screens. But they had like one little latch, like one little latch, and the whole thing would open out. And you're like, are you kidding me? Like, I don't want a kid to fall out of the screen because their body weight's on there, but they need it like a dual. Like, they need like where you have to pull them at the same time, and it's not that easy. Or you need to have a 2-step, like, do this and then do this and then push it out in case there's a fire, right? Because you don't want to get trapped. But it was just like, you like flicked the thing up or pushed on it and it opened, and I was like, oh my god, that scared me. And it wasn't even, it doesn't matter if kids still climb up on chairs like I did. It's not even like it's up out of reach of little children. But we had someone at church that did, they did fall out the window, and this boy became very violent. He did fall out the window, and he busted his head open. And it was in the news, and supposedly his siblings were watching him, and the parents were supposedly making dinner. That's the story that I heard. And that the kid, there was a bunk bed in the room, and something happened. It was a brand new house. It was like their dream house, and they finally fell out. I think, didn't something happen where they had to move out like 2 months later? Like, I heard this family trying to get their dream house. They had 4 kids. They had 4 children, and I just remember, like, the wife had to work a lot on some days, but I liked her. But that husband, I'm pretty sure, was like, I have his Facebook friends, and I'm pretty sure that they were extremely redneck racist. Like, it was kind of actually frightening to be in the same church with people that put that crap on their Facebook page or their friends. I mean, it's not my. I don't mind if they put that crap on their page. That's open to their friends and their church congregation members, including their pastor. But it's like these people would also be leaders for a lot of things, and you're blatantly racist because you're saying stuff about somebody's race and hatred in the same sentence multiple times. And someone made a joke about killing Obama and I could quickly unfriended that guy. Quickly. That's not something you joke about. And whether it's a joke or whether he was insane or whether, the only thing pardon would be if someone hacked your account and wrote that. But it scared the living daylight. It scared me to think that someone was going to put that publicly up. Now, the reason I said I don't mind is because then you know what you might already know. If they see rude things to me coming in church when my kids are the only ones witnesses and then all their congregation is in a different room, you already know in your heart how these people are, but they blatantly put that on their Facebook page. Then you're like, confirm that what you thought. And, I was probably still friends with these other people from church until I left and everyone was criticizing me and making up lies about me. Then I said, enough's enough, I'm done. There are no allies. There are 0 allies here right now. So, you got the Dimcad channel, one of his frequent commenters does have a Confederate flag for their freaking for their profile picture, and you see this frequently, and you're just like, this guy is always saying nice stuff. He's always saying nice stuff to his black guy, Dimcad, a prepper, gun owner, and all this stuff. And I find that interesting. Sometimes you can hang out with people like that and get along fine with your personality better than someone else. And just having that flag, a lot of people say it's history. I used to not know what the Confederate flag. My mom and dad never told me. I thought it meant the Dukes of Hazzard, which I thought were cool. So I was probably, if I could have bought my own clothes, I probably would have had Confederate flag clothes if we had the internet like that, because I did not even know it until I was an adult. I don't even think I remember learning about anything about. There's certain groups like my Doc Martens. My daughter wore them to work, and her boss was. There was neo-Nazis that wore them when he was in school, so he looked at her weird because he's a person of color and she's a person of color, more than one minority group. Just looking at her like you're making me feel scared. I feel traumatized right now, but it's like you're a safe person, yet you have that symbol on your body as an external thing that you chose. So everything is different. I'm that type of person what wants to do things naturally. I was spraying the spray earlier to try to get rid of the ants, and I was like, oh, that probably wasn't a good idea. It's like I want to stay in the house, but I'm not doing my work, and I'm not doing my work, so I have to apply for a job outside the house. And so I'm going to sit and meditate for 10 minutes in the chair about what I just said about the quarantine and how the US of A has skyrocketed up to bypass even Italy, to bypass Spain, or China. We're on number one at. It's like, this is something I don't want to be number one. I am only a few hours. I don't know if it's 6 hours away from New York City. Right now, I was supposed to go back to my home, and my kids don't even want me sending mail back and forth, let alone traveling. I want to travel, but it is kind of pointless. I mean, you think, oh, what if something happens and we all die and we don't see each other again? But it's like, well, what if we're all fine and we live through it, but that traveling back and forth kills everybody? You know what I mean? It's like you don't have a crystal ball. You don't want to predict things. The schools here are also going to be out till the 24th, and I believe in the neighborhood where I came from, I believe they'll be going back to school. Not too long. These kids here were supposed to go back on Monday or Tuesday, depending on what school they went to. And today is Friday, so it's going to be 4 more weeks and maybe more, I've been sore, my wrist, my fingers, my ankle. I hurt my ankle at work, and I was working so much that I did go to a doctor, but I had to recheck in with her after not being a patient for 2 years. It was a new patient intake. I did state that about my ankle. I don't know if she charted it, so I had somebody to write me a letter to get
to get, what's the word I'm looking for? A leave of absence, a medical leave of absence, but I couldn't get a hold of anyone to figure out who to send that to for the leave of absence. It was, what's the word I'm trying to say? There's no HR. Calling and emailing them. Actually, my boss got me nowhere. And I had no accommodations. So I already had car accident injuries. I have a letter from my chiropractor that I have accommodations. And they refused to honor my accommodations. And even if they said, yeah, go ahead, and I was like, in the bare minimum, they said to take breaks as needed. Or, not breaks, but sit down as needed. I was like, if the bare minimum was for me to go to the bathroom when I need to, especially when I started my period, that wasn't even an option. When you work in a place like that, I just got too much salt in my hand. When you work in a place like that, you're the only one in the store. You have 3 phones ringing. They put in a 4th one. You have 4 phone lines ringing. You're in trouble if you miss even one call. If you miss, like, more than one, your boss has to go to a meeting and get yelled at. You have to make, you're in there all by yourself, you have a driver. Driving, you might have 2 drivers. Cook, nope, you have to cook. Prepare dough for the next day. Prepare school lunch for the next day, which was several hundred school lunches. Work the front counter. Not Ross trying to get back in. Cash in and out employees. Clean. Do dishes. And then on Tuesdays, inventory. Like, you had to inventory everything. The napkins. We have napkins. Yeah, the napkins, the plates, every ounce of pepperoni, every ounce of Parmesan cheese. You had to add all that crap up with a clipboard and then go back around and enter it in the system. Like, they should have it where you could type it in your iPad in real time, you know, and not have to. The list you had on the computer was like this, and the list that prints out that you write on is like all out of order. So it's like, you can't just be like, A, pepperoni, B, pizza sauce, C, cheese. It's like you had to flip through pages and then it was like, you had different file folders. You had like 20 things on this page, 80 in this file, 25 in this file. So you had to do inventory. That would take me, I swear, forever. And then your numbers had to be right, and if you think you underestimated the amount of plastic forks, then you had to go back and like estimate a box that holds 1,000. You have to estimate that, like, oh, maybe because it shows your food loss, or your food loss technically. If you're using too much chicken, did someone steal it, or you get in trouble? Basically, your standard deviation is wrong. Like, you literally get in trouble, and they will try to prevent any major trouble by coming back and recounting it the next morning at like 7 a.m. If they don't like your .02, you have to be .2 within a standard deviation of your sales. And people come in, big boss come in and take cases of soda on packs of cheese and don't tell you. So then you're like being honest and not. Anyways, it's a bunch of math, because then you have to go back and be like, tell your boss, oh yeah, this looks like I'm missing 3 things of cheese. We're going to be in trouble. Oh, someone took 2 the other day. Well, why didn't they enter that in so that the standard deviation is more, anyway, stupid. That was a job. Pizza place. I told people that it's not as easy. Like, there's people there that seem like they're not that smart, but pretty much everyone there was a college educated person with a degree. Some of us business owners or managers of some important and or really big companies, and we ended up there making minimum wage. So, praise guys. I'm distracted by eating I need to exercise, but I'm going to do my work for 30 minutes after I do 10 minutes of meditation. Bye.